So on this panel, we have colleagues who are investing, who are involved in those 4 sectors that we had mentioned earlier. So the ATMs, as they call them. So I want to start with the lady on my immediate right. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Perez Ochieng. I'm the CEO and founder of Sacoma Global Foods Innovation. We are a company based here in the UK. We have been in existence for over 30 years, and our focus has been purely around agriculture. But as innovators and creators, of which we have won several awards, we have put ideas into action and not only become innovators but actually implementers of new ideas. So we progressed on from just mere imports and export of agricultural produce in the last 10 years, and we have now become a knowledge base around food and agriculture. Why am I here? Because as Edward, you know, many years we spent in Spitalfield market importing fresh produce from all over the world, including Uganda, one of them, and Kenya and other places. But the biggest challenge we faced was the quality, the packaging, and so many other things along the supply chain, post-harvest handling technologies, and shelf life. So we moved on into product development and innovation. Why am I here? Other than just importing and sourcing and developing new products, we have escalated our knowledge as African in the diaspora to link up with the global things and actions around food and agriculture. And we've been recently called to go to solve food solutions in countries like Seoul, Korea, and Taiwan. And I'm here to share that knowledge. And that knowledge is about intellectual property right in the agricultural sector. We can talk so much about value addition and looking for export market and breaking through to find new markets. But the truth is that most of our farmers or food processors do not own the intellectual property rights of their processes. This is where asset is created. And this is where we can actually create value for our farmers and processors for us to compete in the global market. So competition is not just about food products, nor is it about quality, but it's about awareness of the way that we get into new markets by having assets that are owned by us. When I talk about asset as an intellectual property right, I ask simple questions like, when you talk about Kenya tea, or you talk about Uganda coffee, or you talk about Matoke, what does it mean to eat Matoke bread or Matoke as a food? What is the process behind that? And who owns that? When we answer that questions, we begin to develop a pathway for creating assets for these products. And the producers can begin to have real assets in their hands that they can use to compete in global markets. We talk about kimchi. Kimchi is just fermented cabbage. Do we have anything in Africa that is better than kimchi? Yes, we have. Why we do not have global markets for this? So this is why I am here, to begin to share this knowledge and to create partnership that already exists with some of our partners are here, and to make these actions real. We are not just talking. It's now sharing the knowledge, imparting the knowledge, and holding hands to make sure that we can compete at knowledge and data level like many countries that are exceeding in the food sector are doing. Okay. That's right. So my pitch is about, it's really a call to action. Yeah. And so much is going on. If I say Uganda specific or maybe Africa, as we are talking about UK-Africa collaborations, trades and all this, is appeal for the people that are within the reach of my voice and the people who have networks, the people who are helping farmers and the producers to look for export markets, is to understand that the global trade is changing. It's no longer the same trade routes that we used to think about. It's about quality, value addition, packaging, and getting into the market. We have now become a more data-driven technology escalators that will enable us to conquer the markets that we are looking for. And so there's a need for us to look at how do we embed data in our agriculture technology. So we are looking at data-driven agriculture. We begin to create value for our farmers and our producers so that they can own the assets. When I talk about asset, I'm not talking about land. I'm talking about asset in terms of the knowledge they have in order for them to own the intellectual property rights for those. And this will open markets. I've given a very good example of kimchi and all these products that come into the market. And then the final call is for us who have knowledge to be willing to share it and to collaborate with others. And in this building today, there are so many businesses that have met, and I'm so great we've met with Aspire Africa. We are looking at collaboration and many things we want to do together. Because to open up new markets is not about your single-handed effort. It is about, first of all, how much data do we have in our hands, and how do we manipulate this data to open up markets. It's not just data about product development and the final product which enable us. How do we leverage new technologies? I want to mention one thing that is so important. I know we talk about, say for example, this is so important. So when we talk about new technologies in agriculture, smart technology, water management technologies, we talk about agriculture, and we talk about how we are managing our resources in order to meet SDGs. But one thing that we are not realizing, even in our methods of irrigation, we are actually not utilizing the resources that are available for us to meet the Sustainable Development Goals. But there are already existing nano-water management technologies that are so precise that drive it into smart technologies, but also very data-driven so that your water management is so precise. And this is the type of technologies we are looking at. We teach them to our young people who are so enabled, involve them in our agricultural sector so that we become the creators of the knowledge and innovation.
Moderator.
Thank you so much.